I never chose this family. While I was grieving my dad, my stepsister acted like everything was fine, calling my mom mom and pretending we were real sisters. But I never forgot what I lost. And that's why I can't stand her *me and my stepsister are both 16, but that's where the similarities end. From the outside, we might look like two girls who grew up together, who shared toys, birthdays, family trips, holidays. But inside, everything between us is broken. Cracked and sharp like shattered glass. We've been stepsisters since we were 7. That was the year everything changed. That was the year my mom married her dad. The year after my real dad died and after her real mom passed away. It sounds tragic when you lay it out like that, but the pain isn't in the words, it's in the spaces between them. I still remember the funeral. I was 5. I stood beside my mom, holding her hand so tight I thought her fingers would break. She didn't cry, at least not then. But I did, quietly, without sound. Just endless tears that burned my face. I didn't understand why he was gone, why he wasn't coming back, why everyone kept telling me he was in a better place when all I wanted was for him to come home. Her experience must have been similar. Maybe she cried, too. Maybe she held onto her dad the same way, but if she did, you wouldn't know it from how she acts now. She calls my mom mom like it's the most natural thing in the world. She started doing that even before our parents got married. She told me once, casually, like it wasn't a big deal, that her dead mom was her first mom and that my mom was now just mom. Like love is something you can transfer like a file or a contact on your phone. That moment made something twist in my stomach, like I was going to be sick. How could she do that? How could she replace her real mother like that and smile while doing it? I cried for 3 nights when I found out my mom was seeing someone. I didn't eat. I didn't talk. I just lay in my room, holding a photo of my dad and staring at the ceiling. When I finally met her dad, the man who was supposed to be my new father, I hated him instantly. Not because he was mean or cruel. No, he was actually nice. Too nice. Like he was trying to win me over, like he thought he could ever step into the place my dad left behind. I never called him dad. Not once. I never will. That word belongs to one man only, and he's buried 6 feet under. My stepfather always tried, though. He tried to get close. He'd ask about school, offer to help with my homework, once even build me a bookshelf for my room. I didn't ask for it. I never thanked him. I knew it hurt him, but I couldn't bring myself to care. My stepsister, on the other hand, thought he walked on water. She acted like we were the luckiest girls in the world. She'd post pictures on Instagram with captions like "family is everything" and tag me like we were best friends. I never liked or commented. I ignored it all. It pissed her off. She'd ask me why I was so cold, why I couldn't just accept our family and be happy. I didn't answer. What would I even say? That every time I see her dad kiss my mom, I feel like I'm watching a stranger touch something sacred. That every time she calls my mom mom, it feels like she's stealing something that's mine. We've fought about it more times than I can count. She's called me heartless, bitter, broken. Maybe I am, but at least I'm real. I don't pretend. I don't fake smiles at dinner or hug people I don't love. When we were 13, she told me that if I was so empty inside, I should just go be with my dad. She said it with venom in her voice, her eyes cold like ice. She got grounded for a month for that. Not that it changed anything. Last year, she said it again, whispered it under her breath when no one else could hear. I didn't snitch. What was the point? That's how we operate. Silent war, sharp words, unspoken hate. And yet, there were times she tried. I remember. One night, she knocked on my door with popcorn and 2 sodas. She asked if I wanted to watch a movie, said it could be just us girls. I told her to get out. She left without a word. Another time, I was sick with the flu. She brought me tea and a blanket. I stared at her like she was insane. I asked what she wanted. She didn't answer. She just left it on my nightstand and walked away. Sometimes I think she really does want to be close, that she wants a sister, but I can't give her that. Not when I still feel like she took something from me. Not when I still hear my dad's laugh in my dreams and wake up crying. She doesn't get that. She doesn't get that I'm still grieving. She thinks I'm just bitter for no reason. Our biggest fights are when she sees me laughing with my friends. She gets jealous. She says it's disgusting that I can show affection to people who barely know me, but not to my family. Once, she saw me hugging my best friend and lost it. She said I never hugged her or her dad and that I was a cold-hearted bitch. I told her to grow up. She stormed out of the room. We've both said terrible things. I once told her that her voice made me want to smash my head through a wall. She once told me that even our half-siblings liked me more than her because I was better at faking love. That one stung. I love our half-siblings. I really do. They're innocent. They didn't choose any of this. They call both of us sissy and think we're best friends. They don't see the way we glare at each other across the dinner table, or how we avoid sitting too close on the couch. They don't hear the silence when we're left alone in a room. Therapy didn't help. 2 years of forced sessions of how do you feel and let's use I statements, and can we find common ground? No, we couldn't. We left the same way we came, angry and disconnected. Then came Father's Day. My half-brother asked if he could see what I got for our dad's grave. I showed him the letter I wrote. I write one every year and leave it at the cemetery. It's my ritual. My stepsister overheard. She exploded. She screamed at me, actually screamed, that I don't appreciate her dad, that I let mom deliver messages from me to my real dad but wouldn't even buy her dad a card. She said I only put effort into Stepfamily Day, which she scoffed at like it was a joke. Then she crossed a line I'll never forget. She said, your dad would be ashamed of you. You treat the memory of him like some idol, but he's dead. He's not coming back. My dad has been here for 10 years and earned that place. If there's an afterlife, you're never going to see your dad again. You'll die alone and you'll deserve it. I saw red. I didn't care anymore. I told her to go fuck herself. I told her that if I were her real mom, I'd be disgusted. That she replaced me so easily, that I'd haunt her every night just so she'd never feel peace again. I told her she had no loyalty, no real love, just this fake, shallow need to fill holes in her heart with strangers. At least I gave a damn about my real family. She didn't say anything. She just stared at me like I'd stabbed her in the chest. Then she ran to her room and didn't come out for hours. She skipped dinner. She didn't speak to anyone. Even her teachers noticed something was off that week. My mom sat me down and asked how I could be so cruel. I told her my stepsister started it. She said that didn't matter, that what I said was beyond cruel, that I'd hit wounds that could never be fixed. She said my stepsister was a good kid who opened her heart to people and I was the one shutting everyone out. I told her if she felt that way, she didn't have to keep me around. I could pack a bag and leave. That just made her angrier. Now no one talks at dinner. My stepsister won't look at me. My mom walks on eggshells. My stepdad keeps trying to smile through the silence. The house feels like it's falling apart, and maybe it is. I don't know how to fix it. I don't even know if I want to. I still dream about my dad. I still hold that picture. I still can't let go, and maybe I never will. And still, even with all of that, there are moments when I question myself. I lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence of the house, wondering if I'm the villain in this story. I try to picture things from her point of view. Maybe she felt abandoned when her mom died. Maybe my mom was the first person who made her feel safe again, and she clung to that with everything she had. Maybe calling my mom mom wasn't betrayal in her eyes, it was survival. But even if that's true, does it make what she said about my dad forgivable? Does it make the way she pushes herself into everything sacred to me acceptable? I don't know. I just don't know. At school, everyone thinks we're best friends. We used to walk together in the halls. She insisted. She said it looked better, that it made her feel normal. I went along with it, sometimes, just to avoid questions, just to keep appearances. But people don't know what happens at home. They don't know that we once fought so hard over a photo of my dad that she ripped it in half. She claimed it was an accident, but the look on her face said otherwise. They don't know that when she sings along with my mom in the kitchen, I feel like I'm being erased, little by little, like I never belonged here. Last Christmas, mom made stockings with all our names. Mine was next to hers. My stepsister had added glitter letters that spelled family forever. I took mine down and threw it in the trash. She cried. Mom yelled. Dad, well, my stepdad just sighed and walked out. And that's what it's always like. A carousel of emotion, constantly spinning, no one knowing when to get off. There was this one time I haven't told anyone. I almost ran away. I had my backpack packed, just essentials, my dad's picture, my journal, some money I'd hidden away. It was snowing outside, cold and silent. I stood at the door for a full 10 minutes, staring at the lock, waiting for the courage to turn it. But something stopped me. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was fear. Or maybe it was that small part of me that still hoped things could get better. I went back to my room and cried until morning. My stepsister never knew, but I think mom did. She was quieter the next day, made my favorite pancakes, said nothing about the previous night. That was the closest we ever came to understanding each other, but it didn't last. It never does. She invited my stepsister to a mother-daughter retreat that spring. Didn't even ask me if I wanted to go. When I confronted her, she said, I didn't think you'd be interested. That sentence still burns in my head, like I was some stray dog who just lived here, not part of anything real. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if our parents had never met. Would I be happier? Would I still be broken? Or maybe I'd be even worse, completely alone. Sometimes, in my weaker moments, I try to talk to my stepsister, not about deep things, just surface stuff, school, a TV show, a meme. She answers, but it's cold now, distant, like a wall's gone up. And I know I helped build it. Every insult, Every rejection, every time I turned away when she reached out, I was laying bricks. And now I'm trapped behind them too. I once heard her crying through the wall. It was late. Maybe midnight. I sat there, listening, frozen. She was sobbing, muffling the sound with her pillow. I wanted to knock on her door, to say something. Anything, but I didn't. I just stared at the wall and bit my lip until it bled. What is wrong with me? Why can't I cross that line? Why does showing her kindness feel like betrayal to myself? And yet I can't deny there's a part of me that envies her. She's able to love. She's able to open her arms to people, too. Trust again, to smile at the people who broke her world. I wish I could do that. I wish I didn't feel like every kind gesture costs me a piece of my soul, but that's who I've become. A girl who's built her identity around holding on to grief, who fears that healing means forgetting. I remember once, in therapy, the counselor asked me if I was afraid to be happy. I laughed in her face, but maybe she was right. Maybe I'm terrified that if I let this family in, it means I've let go of the one I lost, that if I call my stepdad Dad, I'm killing my real father's memory, that if I hug my stepsister, I'm admitting she's not the enemy. And maybe I need her to be the enemy. Because otherwise, who am I angry at? Who do I blame for the pain that won't leave me? A few weeks ago, we were assigned a group project in class. My stepsister and I ended up in the same group. The teacher thought it would be good bonding. Big mistake. We clashed immediately. I wanted to do the research. She wanted to do the slides. She said I was controlling. I said she was lazy. In the end, we both got a C. She didn't talk to me for 3 days. I didn't care, or told myself I didn't. But when I saw her laughing with her friend in the hallway, my chest hurt. Not with jealousy, with something else, regret, maybe. Or loneliness. I sometimes look at pictures of us when we were younger. Forced smiles at birthday parties, matching Christmas sweaters. I wonder what people saw when they looked at us. Did they think we were close, that we were lucky? If only they knew. If only they heard the silence that fills this house now. The glances that never meet, the laughter that dies when we enter the same room. But maybe the saddest part is that there was potential. That we could have been sisters not just by law, but by heart. That somewhere, in another version of this life, we're sitting on the same bed, braiding each other's hair, crying over the same heartbreaks, celebrating the same triumphs. But that version doesn't exist here. Here, we're just two ghosts, haunting the same house, pretending not to feel, pretending not to care, but caring too much. And I don't know how this ends. Maybe we'll drift apart completely, go to different colleges, stop speaking. Maybe one day, at a wedding or a funeral, we'll be forced into the same room again. And we'll make small talk like strangers. Or maybe just maybe one of us will break. We'll say, I'm sorry, and mean it. We'll reach out and try again. I don't know who that will be. Maybe it'll never happen. But tonight, as I lie here in the dark, listening to the faint sounds of her music through the wall, I close my eyes and picture us as kids again. Before the pain. Before the fights. Just two girls with empty chairs at the table, trying to fill them with love that didn't know where to go. And for 1 second, just one, I wish I could go back. Start over. Say yes when she knocked with popcorn. Say thank you for the tea. Hug her when she brought the blanket. But the past doesn't change. In this story, ours is still being written. In silence. In sorrow. In the hope that maybe one day we'll find our way home. Together.